course, big data, med tech, marketing tech, and all other kinds of B2B technology companies. Within our advertising and SEO, a lot of the things that we do is we do a lot of ads on Google and LinkedIn. That being said, there's a lot of great new opportunities with Twitter under this new management of Elon Musk. But we have an even better Elon today, if you ask me, spelled differently and pronounced slightly differently, is to talk about what the hell's going on with Elon. We're talking about what's going on with Twitter. So Elon, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and talk about exactly a little bit about the landscape. And I got a handful of things I want to make sure that we cover.
All right. So Yoel, first of all, thank you for the opportunity, and it's a pleasure to be with you here in this live event. Hi, my name is Elon Yusim. I'm at Twitter for almost 2 years now. I'm leading the tech, B2B, and agencies vertical right here at Twitter. I'm located in Dublin, which is now sunny and beautiful. And yeah, we've been working mostly with tech company, helping them create strategies and making sure that they are performing on Twitter according to the KPIs, from strategy to execution. We have our team of performance specialists that can take any brief from tech marketer and make it a really live and exciting strategy on Twitter. So this is what we do.
Awesome. Okay, so first I think we should, guys, I see your question. Everything's working. Hello, everyone. A lot of my best friends are here, and some of my favorite people are on Twitter are here, which is awesome. So ask your questions, put them in. We'll address them. I'm going to try not to cherry pick, but I'll try to work them into the order of the conversation. So I think we should talk about the following things. Talk about the product, a little bit about the algorithm, social engagement, advertising, and product roadmap. I think those are probably the main things. Anything else within that, how to build the following, all that will come within probably the algorithm, using the product, and work all this and a lot of other things in. And of course, we're going to address all your questions. So first off, the product. All right. So obviously, not going to avoid the elephant in the room. Elon Musk acquired Twitter several months ago, and that's why we're having this conversation that there have been changes to the platforms. Other than the verifications which rolled out, we should probably discuss why one should get verified. What are the main changes you think from just a platform use that are probably the biggest things that us as B2B marketers should keep in mind?
So I think that one of the main changes in the platform was around performance and ad relevancy. So in terms of performance, our key work was, one, implementing the new Twitter Pixel and Conversion API. This means that we are now able to measure down the funnel events, report them back to Twitter, and then create a campaign that basically optimizes to allow you to reach the same audiences that actually perform the right conversion point for your company or for your brand. Whether you want them to just visit your website and read like your top article, leave a lead, or install something. So that was in terms of performance. And then in terms of ad relevancy, we have now more targeting options than ever. The targeting is more accurate. We can target based on interest, based on keywords, based on lookalikes, based on audiences, but also based on the actual keywords that are appearing on your feed. So basically, we have now keywords campaign that you target particular keywords, and then you're making sure that your ad appearing next to these valuable keywords. And then on top of that, we had something that is always on top of our mind, which is brand safety. We now allow more brands to have more control on where their ads appear and where they want their ads to show and where they don't. So they can exclude particular keywords, they can exclude particular phrases or terms, and they can exclude particular handles that they don't want their ads to appear in their next to their tweets or inside their replies. So this is now provides a much deeper sense of control for brands that, obviously they want to make sure that they are active in a brand safety environment. So
Awesome. So we're going to talk about that and the advertising and how we can, where our ads can show and not, and who we can target and how. And I definitely want to talk about advertising for events. And there's a lot of cool things, and we'll get to that. So one of the very first things, let's say, rolled out under new management was the view count. And then another thing that I've noticed, which is still has a lot of work to do, is less bots. So obviously, it's no secret that there's been a bot issue on Twitter forever. Obviously, that was basically news for several months last year, and there's been a lot of progress. There's still a lot of work to be done. I know that because I feel and say it. I'll give it. I made a joke to someone, I made an OnlyFans joke on Twitter, and then I got a bunch of OnlyFans bots suddenly liking my tweets. So that's how I knew the bots are still there. Other than that, I barely see them, just certain keywords that bots pick up and are engaging on it. So that's what I'm seeing. The view count is great. It lets you know what's legit and like how many people are actually seeing what. So instead of there being, let's say, like bullshit pods, you know what I mean, where everyone's like, hey, like my tweet, you don't have that anymore. So that's really, so you actually see who's seeing it, it's legit. Because people say on LinkedIn, like, how does this person get so many likes so quiet? Like they're in a pod. How do you know? I go to there's someone close to me. I look at who likes it. They're all second, third connections. Obviously it's a pod. Whether they're bots, real people, or what, I have no idea. But now you can know what's getting real engagement. Another thing is if you're going to do influencer marketing, which we'll get to, being able to know how many people, not just the engagement, but who's actually viewing it and all of that, the view counts. This is all very important when it comes to your B2B marketing strategies. So there's a lot of been changes going on. So let's get, you want to say something?
Yeah, I think that, showing the level of engagement and each different engagement on Twitter sends a different signal. I mean, views just eyeballs landing on your content, whereas likes are people agreeing with your content, and then you have people retweeting your content, which means that they're taking your content as is, which they see as a valuable content for their own network, and then they can add their own quote, which means that they're sharing this content with their network, with their take on what you said, whether it's positive or negative. But then you have a much deeper engagement with, which is the bookmark, which means that I'm saving your content for the future me, which means that I find it valuable right now, and I probably want to get back to that content at some point in the future, whether it's your your post or your video or anything that you put on Twitter. And this is especially valuable for tech and B2B marketers, because you put on guides, you put on white papers, you put your C-level conversation and their take. So people are saving these contents. And once you promote